Breaking news, US and global headlines you can't miss. Welcome to today's top headlines from the US and around the globe. I'm Anderson Cooper, and here's what's making news. We begin with a rapidly developing story on the trade front. The Trump administration has announced a temporary exemption of smartphones, laptops, and other consumer electronics from the latest round of tariffs on Chinese goods. This news sent shockwaves through the tech industry and global markets, as we'll explore in just a moment. But first, we turn our attention to the Federal Reserve, where policymakers are grappling with the potential economic fallout from the ongoing trade war. The Trump administration's delay of tariffs on Chinese goods, including smartphones and laptops, has been met with mixed reactions. It signals a potential easing of trade tensions that have rattled markets. Tech giants like Apple saw their stock prices surge. The reprieve offers breathing room for businesses and consumers, but it raises questions about the Trump administration's long-term strategy. Is this a genuine attempt to find common ground, or a tactical retreat? As the trade war continues to cast a long shadow over the US economy, Federal Reserve officials are closely monitoring its impact and signaling a willingness to adjust monetary policy if necessary. In a speech today, Fed Governor Christopher Waller suggested that while the economic effects of tariffs would likely be negative, their inflationary impact might be transitory. Waller's remarks hint at a potential pause in the Fed's recent series of interest rate hikes. The trade war has introduced a new layer of uncertainty. Waller's comments sent ripples through the bond market, causing yields on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note to dip slightly. This suggests that investors are anticipating a more accommodative stance from the Fed. The Fed's next policy meeting is scheduled for later this month. All eyes will be on Chairman Jerome Powell for further clues about the central bank's outlook. Chapter 3, Harvard funding. Freeze sparks debate over academic freedom. The Trump administration has frozen billions in federal grants to Harvard, escalating tensions with one of the world's top academic institutions. This follows Harvard's refusal to comply with demands for documents related to its admissions practices, amid a lawsuit alleging discrimination against Asian American applicants. The Education Department accuses Harvard of stonewalling its investigation into potential civil rights violations. This has reignited debate about academic freedom and government's role in higher education. Critics argue it sets a dangerous precedent, while supporters see it as necessary for fairness and accountability. Chapter 4, Judge demands answers in wrongful deportation case. A federal judge is demanding answers from the Trump administration about its failure to repatriate a Maryland father wrongfully deported to El Salvador. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a green card holder, was deported in 2017 despite having no criminal record. Garcia's case highlights the human cost of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. The judge's rebuke underscores frustration over the administration's disregard for the rule of law. The judge has ordered the government to explain why Garcia has not been returned and to outline steps for his release. From trade wars and economic uncertainty to battles over academic freedom and the rule of law, today's headlines paint a picture of a nation grappling with complex challenges and deep divisions. As always, we urge you to stay informed, engage in thoughtful dialogue, and hold those in power accountable. The stories we've covered today touch on issues that affect us all, from the products we use to the values we hold dear. It's more important than ever to stay engaged, to ask tough questions, and to demand answers from our leaders. That's all for today's headlines. Stay informed and stay safe. I'm Anderson Cooper, and thank you for watching.